Washington, DC versus Alexandria, Virginia. This is a question I get asked often, and if you clicked on this video, it's probably one you're wondering about too. This rivalry goes way deeper than just city limits. Think of it like Yankees versus Red Sox, iPhone versus Android, Beyonce versus Rihanna. Both have their loyal fan bases, both bring something different to the table, but only one is going to feel like home to you. In this video, we are going to compare Washington, DC versus Alexandria to help you decide which one best suits you. Hi there, I'm Brad Thornton. I make videos all about moving to and living in the Washington, DC area. So when you're ready to buy or sell a home here, let's chat. All right, let's start with dollars and cents because the cost of living could be the deal breaker or the deciding factor. Although there are a range of neighborhoods to choose from and a range of prices, neither city, I would say, is inexpensive. In DC, expect to pay around $640,000 for a medium price home. The property tax rate is lower at 0.85% annually, but you'll face higher costs in other areas. For example, groceries are about 12% above the national average. Car-related expenses are higher, while utilities are about the same. Alexandria offers medium home prices around $670,000, and while the property tax rate is higher at 1.1%, you generally get more space for your money. Grocery prices in Alexandria are about 10% more, and utility prices are about 6% higher than the U.S. average. So, who do these cities work for? For DC, I would say those whose budget aligns with the premium cost of urban living, and that really kind of applies to both cities. But in DC, anyone prioritizing a central location over space. For Alexandria, it generally appeals to buyers wanting more square footage and outdoor areas for their money. Although the closer you get to Old Town Alexandria, the more expensive it gets. Okay, so who might struggle? Anyone expecting their dollars to stretch as far as they would in the average U.S. city, I would say. Okay, now that we've covered the financial impact of both cities, let's talk about what many people consider the most significant difference between DC and Alexandria. Alexandria, in contrast, moves at a more gentler pace. The cobblestone streets of Old Town remind you of its long history, while local boutiques and waterfront restaurants create a more intimate, small-town atmosphere. Here, you're more likely to see families strolling along King Street or couples enjoying dinner at a sidewalk cafe than you will more of the vibrant crowds. Now, don't get me wrong, Alexandria is a popular place and gets plenty of visitors, but it's not quite the same urban vibe as DC. Now, that being said, DC has a huge variety of neighborhoods, from lively urban areas to more suburban-like neighborhoods. However, for the most part, DC has more of a big city vibe. So, who do these cities work for? I would say anyone craving urban energy, cultural diversity, and constant activity will lean towards DC. Alexandria appeals to people seeking a more relaxed, historic setting with strong community ties. So, who might struggle in these cities? In DC, those who prefer quiet evenings and less tourist traffic, although I wouldn't make that your deciding factor because DC has some quiet neighborhoods and Old Town Alexandria does get a fair amount of tourist traffic. However, anyone wanting late night options, more entertainment, and cultural options with extensive public transportation will struggle, I would say, a little bit in Alexandria. While the vibe and setting are important, some people ultimately make their decision based on practical matters like getting around. Let's talk about transportation and how it differs between the two cities. Driving in DC means navigating some one-way streets, frequent road closures for events, and fierce competition for parking. Alexandria's roads are more straightforward, but commuting during rush hour can be frustrating with the backups on the bridges and the major arteries. In general, Alexandria has more parking, although not so much in Old Town Alexandria. For public transportation, DC has 41 metro rail stations throughout the city, while Alexandria has 4. Now, Alexandria is smaller area than DC. Biking has become increasingly popular in both cities. DC has an extensive bike lane network. They have a capital bike share system and endless e-bike and scooter rentals. This definitely makes car-free living more feasible. Alexandria has fewer protected bike lanes within the city. However, they do connect to some major trails like the beautiful Mount Vernon Trail. So who does this work for? I would say in DC, those who want to live and work near a metro station, maybe bike enthusiasts, or if you want to bike to work, and anyone comfortable with public transportation. In Alexandria, it works for people who need cars for work or family life, and those who don't mind slightly longer commutes and easier parking. Although, if you do live near one of the 4 metro stations in Alexandria, that's certainly something that people take advantage of as well. Now, let's take a look at something that affects your daily quality of life, the amenities and things to do in each city. When it comes to entertainment and amenities, each city offers distinctly different experiences. DC delivers a world-class variety with its free Smithsonian museums, Major League Sports, and endless dining spanning almost all cuisines. The nightlife is more diverse with rooftop bars, concert venues, and cultural events happening almost every night in DC. Alexandria focuses, I would say, more on quality over quantity. The restaurant scene is more intimate with historic buildings, farm-to-table eateries, and local seafood spots. The dining in DC is vast and diverse, with over 21 Michelin-starred restaurants. You'll find global cuisine from chefs native to those countries typically, whether it's a trendy pop-up or an Ethiopian feast or a power lunch. DC delivers big time on the food scene. If you like to shop, you'll find boutiques along King Street and Mount Vernon Avenue in Alexandria, rather than a lot of major retail centers. DC has local boutique shopping in places like Georgetown, and then they have luxury brands in the city center, and they do have a Costco in the city as well. So who does this work for? DC suits anyone who loves to experience different cultures, foodies seeking a large variety, and those who want endless entertainment options. Alexandria typically appeals to people who prefer curated experiences, intimate dining scenes, and a more small-town feel. Next, let's talk about what many consider a crucial factor: safety and quality of life. In DC, safety varies by neighborhood, and like almost any major city, some neighborhoods are generally safe, and other parts of the city experience higher crime rates. I mean, I feel like you can say that for almost any city in the U.S. But according to each city's stats, the district's violent crime rate is 7.2 incidences per 1,000 residents, and Alexandria is 2.1 incidences per 1,000 residents. Alexandria maintains more consistent safety levels across its neighborhoods, according to niche.com, with both violent and property crime rates less than that of DC's. The smaller size of Alexandria, I think, contributes to better overall safety. Police response times average 5 to 7 minutes in Alexandria compared to 8 to 10 minutes in DC. I will say the mayor of DC and the city council has made crime a priority here over the last few years. And in 2025, violent crimes were down 22%. And this is a trend the city hopes to continue. While safety is crucial, education options often become the deciding factor for families with children. So let's examine how schools are compared between DC and Alexandria. Education presents one of the contrasts between DC and Alexandria, particularly for families with school-age children. Niche.com ranks Alexandria's city public schools a B-, and DC's public schools get a B. The district has some excellent schools, like Schools Without Walls High School and Brent Elementary, though quality varies school to school. school. Also, there is a school lottery system that creates extra stress for families. Most families apply to dozens of schools, hoping to secure a spot somewhere good, and many end up on multiple wait lists and face uncertainty until just before the school year begins. Though DC does have some excellent private school options. Alexandria also has some excellent schools. U.S. News and World Report ranks Thomas Jefferson High School as the best in Virginia, and I believe in the top 2% of U.S. high schools. Alexandria's school system is more straightforward. They also use a lottery for some specialized programs, but Niche reports the general quality of neighborhood schools kind of reduces the pressure to win the lottery. Private school options in both cities are typically highly regarded, but do come at a premium. DC's private schools average around $40,000 annually, with top institutions like Sidwell Friends and Georgetown Day School exceeding $50,000. Alexandria's private schools are slightly more affordable, averaging $35,000. One unique advantage DC offers is universal pre-K for 3 and 4-year-olds. It's a program that saves families considerable amount of money. I have several clients that prefer the city just for that fact alone. Alexandria offers pre-K, but not universally. Through the overall quality of programs in Alexandria is quite respectable. Now let's examine something that could significantly impact your career prospects: the job markets in both cities. The job market in DC and Alexandria offer distinct advantages depending on your career path. DC, as the seat of the federal government, obviously provides unparalleled access to government jobs, third-party contractors, policy work, law firms, international organizations. However, what most people don't realize is that beyond the federal government, DC is a hub for careers in law, tech, healthcare, media, think tanks, global nonprofits, and there have recently been quite a bit of startups, and they all thrive here. The city is definitely a magnet for ambitious professionals across a range of industries. The average salary in DC is $92,000, with particularly strong opportunities in consulting, technology, and nonprofits. Alexandria's job market, while much smaller, offers typically opportunities in defense contracting, healthcare, professional services. The average salary in Alexandria is $85,000, which is still competitive. And the city's been attracting more tech companies and startups, particularly along the Eisenhower Avenue corridor. There's a growing innovation sector in Alexandria, especially when you combine it with its neighbors, Crystal City and National Landing, where Amazon's HQ2 is located. So who do these cities work for? I would say DC attracts those in a wide array of industries. Alexandria appeals to defense industry professionals, healthcare workers, and those preferring smaller organizations or startups. Finally, let's talk about what many residents consider the ultimate deciding factor between these two cities: the quality of life. It does differ between DC and Alexandria, and it often becomes the deciding factor for many residents. DC offers an energetic, internationally flavored urban experience with a more fast-paced lifestyle. However, this comes with higher stress levels, a more transient population, and sometimes an overwhelming array of choices of things to do. Alexandria provides a more balanced, community-oriented lifestyle with strong neighborhood connections, many local traditions. It's a fairly old city. The historic charm, waterfront location, and slower pace create an atmosphere where people tend to put down roots rather than constantly looking for the next opportunity. While you might have fewer options for entertainment or dining in Alexandria, the quality of life often feels more sustainable and relaxed. So who does this work for? I would say DC suits those who thrive on energy, constant activity, and international diversity. Alexandria more appeals to people seeking strong community ties, historic charm, and a little more relaxed pace of life. After comparing these 8 crucial factors, cost of living, location and vibe, transportation, amenity, safety, schools, jobs, and quality of life, the choice between DC and Alexandria really comes down to your personal priorities and lifestyle preferences. There is no one right answer for everyone. Choose DC if you want to be at the center of everything. You prioritize the career opportunities that may be in the district. If you love a wide variety of cultural activities and nightlife, if you thrive on the urban experience, or just more comfortable with a faster pace, more transient lifestyle. Choose Alexandria if you value community over convenience, prefer historic charm and waterfront living, although DC does have some of those as well. If you don't mind a slightly longer commute for more space at home or want a more relaxed, family-friendly atmosphere, many lean towards Alexandria. If you're still trying to decide between these two amazing cities, you need to see and experience them. I'd be happy to show you around both and help you find the best neighborhood for your lifestyle. Just reach out using the contact information below and we can explore your options together. If you love this video, you might want to check out my next video about the real pros and cons of living in Washington, DC. I will see you there.